Hello everybody and welcome to a new series. I just found a PS3 copy of NASCAR 14 and I'm not even paying attention to this quiz it's having me do. I didn't realize this was a thing. But yeah, I was in Somerville one day. I was playing some video games with a friend of mine at Yestercade, and she wanted to go into this other store nearby which had some retro video games, and I was not expecting to find this here. But considering that I've regained my interest in NASCAR, I figured I'd give this a shot. Now, when this game was brand new, I completely lost interest in NASCAR. I didn't get back into it until like 2020 when I saw Chase Elliott win the championship, and I learned that he was the son of Bill Elliott, and I thought, hey, this was the son of a guy I used to watch when I was a kid. Yeah, the main reason I lost interest in NASCAR was because Dodge left the sport in 2012, and I don't know, I just wasn't happy to see them go away. It's good now, though, especially since Dodge is planning to come back, but even if they weren't, I'm sure things would have continued getting better. Alright, well, I definitely don't want to be named Player 1, so let's go ahead and change that. Start. I remember some of these sound effects though because I saw Michael Marooks playing NASCAR 15, which was made by the same developers that did this. Team name. Well, it definitely can't be Team NASCAR, that's for sure. That would be generic, and that would make me a victim of favoritism. Most people usually name a race team after themselves, like Hendrick Motorsports or Joe Gibbs Racing or Team Penske. I'm going to name the race team after the town I live in. Oh, thank goodness. I was worried it was going to force me to skip that. Alright, I think we're good.
That's great, buddy. You're all set up now.
Who was that? Kurt Busch or somebody else? I mean, Kurt Busch usually doesn't talk with a southern accent, but it sounded a lot like him. We're going to go into paint booth. I don't know if that's going to make a difference, but if it's anything like NASCAR 25 or NASCAR Thunder 2002 or any other NASCAR game I've played, I know that paint booth and career mode is different, but let's try it anyway, see what happens.
Hey, you ready to start your journey towards becoming a champion?
Yeah.
During your career, you can run.
Oh, you stopped.
You can spend credits developing and upgrading your car throughout the season.
Alright, let's get started then. Normally I prefer Chevrolet, but at the time I didn't like how the SS looked. And I'm a bigger fan of the Ford Fusion. Like, the way that looks, it's a much nicer car. I know that there's more to a car than just its looks, but I'm sure I can succeed with my Fusion.
I'd like you to go out on the track and start getting used to how the car handles.
Am I not changing my car or sponsor or anything? I thought that would have been first, but I think this is just a practice session. We'll see. Okay, so X doesn't accelerate. Oh, we're 80. Nice. Complete 2 laps of the track. Alright, that shouldn't be an issue. Man, this engine sounds awesome. I probably could get on the track at this point. I don't know why I just went left. Okay, we're good. My L3 stick is a little sticky, but I'm going to try and do the best I can and not crash the thing. I'm not even steering though, and it's trying to go to the left. I don't want it to do that.
The tire indicator shows your current tire wear. If your tires get too worn, you should fit and replace them.
Yeah, I know how that works. That's the problem with starting a new NASCAR game. Like, they always assume you don't know what you're doing, even though you've played many of them before. We don't really have that problem in NASCAR 25, though, but still. Just, why does the car want to go left? I'm not steering. And I assume the darker part of the track indicates like the racing line I need to follow, which I am trying to do. It's just a little annoying that I have to hold the stick to the right just to keep it straight.
You reach the center of the corner. Remember, when you hit the accelerator too aggressively, the car can get loose. Don't be afraid to come off the gas and exchange power for control.
I don't know why I'd be afraid to do that. I mean, that's common sense. It has nothing to do with being afraid. But we got one lap down. Let's go to the second one. So if any of you are like me, you probably grew up with some of the...
Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth.
I am. Now, if any of you are like me, you probably remember some of the NASCAR games from EA Sports, which I enjoyed playing a lot. My favorite was Chase for the Cup 2005.
That's enough for now. Pull back on pit road and we'll go see what the owner thought.
All right. I think by the time NASCAR 08 came around, like, it was still good, but just something about it made me lose my interest, and I don't have it anymore. I might give it another try, though. I have NASCAR 09, which I still find good, but I find it worse than NASCAR 08 because you don't have any of the manufacturers. All the cars look exactly the same. There was something else I was going to say, like the fact that I had to hold the stick to the right just to keep it straight was annoying. But I think I'm going to get better with time. Alright, I'm going to go head down to the sponsors section and see what I can get. I currently have no... What? How? Why are you making me start a season without any fucking sponsors? What the hell? Well, this is it. I figured if I'm gonna not have any sponsors, I might as well keep it simple. I wanted to go for blue, and I also noticed that some of the numbers were also the same as in NASCAR 25. Oh wait, hang on. Alright, I meant to hit X instead of circle. There we go. Can I go now? I think I gotta wait for it to load. Yep. Alright, well, I am pretty sure we are going to do our very first race at Daytona, as usual, where we will have the duels and the 500. I don't know how many laps there are, and I don't see any options to change it, but maybe as we go in here, it will allow us to change it. So let's see, practice, qualify, and duels. Alright, well, might as well get this over with. Still can't believe they got to start with no sponsors. And I have $10,000. I don't need to refurbish the engine. I don't need to refurbish anything, so let's just go. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a few more quiz questions popping up, so I'm hoping... Oh, wow. Never mind. Most wins. Richard Petty. I also saw you had the highest top 5s and highest top 10s. I wish it allowed me to read more of that before moving on to like the next screen. Seriously though, the S4. My goodness. I've got the S24. And I just heard a text message from that, but I'm going to wait till later. Oh, this is nice. Okay, so it lets me choose, like, before the race, like just before the race. I don't care for practice, so I'm not going to do that. But I will have the race length increased. The first option it gave me was 3 laps. I still wish it was like Gran Turismo, where it would allow you to, like, type in the number of laps or just choose more freely as opposed to having these like 7 different options or whatever it is. We'll do longer races eventually, like when I feel like I'm ready for it, but for now, I'm just going to play it safe, and let's see. It would be crazy if I turned everything off, but we're going to leave things on, and we're also going to put that on full, which I'll probably regret, but let's see how things go. Alright, begin qualifying. Let's see what the number 64 Ford has in her. Oh, a little bouncier than I anticipated, but so far so good. And I still gotta hold the L3 button to the right just to keep it straight. I think it's just a game though, because like I was playing some Gran Turismo 5 on here a few weeks ago, and I did not have this problem. And before anyone asks, yes, I still have Grand Theft Auto 4. Along with Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, even though I got Grand Theft Auto 5 originally for the PS3, I chose to get a slightly newer copy for my PS4 as well. And I'm really looking forward to when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out in November. It's nice, too, that you get a little extra time to qualify. Like, unlike NASCAR 25, where you only have 1 lap, it allows you to do 2. My forehead is itchy, though. That's going to be a problem. But hey, if I get hit over 200 miles an hour at Indianapolis, I'm sure I can get this car to go. Maybe not. Otherwise, I would have done that already. Let me just scratch my forehead. I swear. I don't know what it is, but my forehead was itchy. Alright, I got 49.2. Right now I see that's in 30th. I am behind the Scottish NASCAR driver Brian Vickers. He's not really Scottish, but with a name like that, I like to pretend that he is. And he's like, "Hi, I'm Brian Vickers, the Scottish NASCAR driver." Another Ford is behind me in 31st, that being Eric Almirola in the 43. I liked seeing him drive the 10 as well when he was with Stuart Haas. Stuart Haas, during the time this game was created, was still using Chevrolets. And they had Tony Stewart, Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch, and Danica Patrick. Alright, that was actually better than what I expected. I thought I was going to be like 35th, but 23rd's good. And if it's anything like the other races I've done at Daytona, I'm sure I'm going to gain a lot of positions. Okay, so here's a brief sit rep on what happened. The duels did not go well. I ended up losing spots, and I kept losing ground to the leaders. I was like 21 seconds behind, so we are actually going to... Okay, I had a feeling it was going to be 65. I probably should have it go down a little bit further, but I think 65 would be okay for the time being. Race length, we're going to, again, keep at... Oh, wait. Alright, never mind. I guess we'll just do 20%. And leave everything else the way it is, and continue. You know, as I progress and I get a better feeling on how the cars behave and like how things go, I'll get like I'll be able to change the settings and get like a better understanding of what I need. But for now, I think we're going to be fine with how things are. If I have to make more changes, fine. But honestly, I think we'll be okay. Oh fuck, am I in last? Jesus Christ. I should have decreased the difficulty more. Wait. Hang on. No. This is okay. Oh, what the fuck? Where is that fucker? Oh, he's back there. Okay. I hope he gets a DNF. That was unacceptable. Oh, it's J.J. Ely, that's why. Dumb shit, couldn't win a race if his life depended on it. That's why he spun me out. He was pissed off that I was doing better than him. I'm really glad, too, that they still have, like, the full field of 43. That's one thing I don't like with the newer NASCAR. I mean, I realize that it's not that big of a difference, but having 43 cars out on the track instead of 36 or 40, sometimes it's between those two numbers, but it's typically 36. I mean, it's nice to go back to how it was and see 43 cars. More would definitely be better. That's why I'm a bigger fan of the Gen 1 racing. But it is what it is. 43 is still a good amount. We're closing in on Wise. I am hoping I can do some drafting. You know what I should do, though? Like Kurt Busch, I should have a smiley face on my car, like on the hood. Yes, this is excellent so far. Oh, store's leading. That's not surprising. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Crap. Alright, Wise. You may have gone back in front of me this time, but I will work my way past you once again, and whoever's in 40th, I'll probably bump draft with them. Annette. Michael Annette. I wonder how he died, though, and I wonder how old he was. I had a feeling he was somewhere in his 30s. I think he lost his life last year. Is he driving the 46, or does he have a different number? He's got, I think that's the 7 for Tommy Baldwin. But I know he drove a 46 at one point. Again, referring to Michael Marooks, if you're in his live streams, you should have access to a number 46 emote, which says Michael Annette. Part of my car fell off. Like around the tire, you can see that part of the quarter panel is missing. I don't think that affects my performance, though. It'd be cool if it did, though. Like, you lose a little bit of weight and it allows you to go just a teeny tiny bit faster. Although I'd probably get disqualified because your car has to be a certain weight. If it goes under the minimum requirement. I remember this happened to Alex Bowman a couple years ago. He got disqualified and kicked out of the chase for the playoffs in 2024 because of that, which allowed Joey Logano to get back in. I think it was around the round of 8, and he ended up winning the 2024 championship. Funny how it works out that way. 2014, when this game came out, was actually the very first year that they started the current chase format. Or I guess it's not current anymore because they stopped doing it last year. But this was basically the start of the win and you're in formula. And after a certain number of races, you'd have the round of 16. And eventually, it would go down to the round of 12, the round of 8, and then the final 4. And whoever won the race there was the champion. After the 2025 season ended, they decided to change it so that you had the most amount of points instead of wins. But to be fair, I mean, getting winning does help you get the most amount of points. Like, not just with the overall race, but also stage wins, too. There's no stage racing here because stage racing wasn't invented until 2017. Even if it was an option, I would just turn it off. I did that in NASCAR 25. Oh. My dogs are barking. I've got someone that's coming in to renovate my bathroom. It's either him or my cleaning lady, but it's not 12. My cleaning lady usually arrives at noon. Oh, it's Logano. British Logano, as I like to call him, because he also drives a Ford. But prior to him joining Penske, from 2009 to 2012, during his time in Cup, he drove the number 20 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. And I didn't even know what Joey looked like at the time. Like when I first heard of him in 2009, I thought he was Mexican, and I thought his last name was pronounced Logano instead of Logano. Once he was fired from JGR and moved to Penske, Matt Kenseth took over the 20, which honestly feels wrong to me. Like, I get it, change is inevitable, but just seeing Matt Kenseth drive the 20 instead of, say, Tony Stewart, like, I prefer seeing Matt drive the 17. And there's a reason why he went back to the Roush Fenway organization after he retired from JGR in 2017. He only did one season driving the number 6 after leaving JGR, but it was still good to see him do what he did. Alright, we're basically at the halfway point. We're not making any progress. I mean, I'm just glad I'm not in last. I passed a few cars, and it looks like, nope, never mind, and that's not catching up to me. I thought he was. Now Casey Kane has the lead. Unlike Kenseth, I mean, I'm okay seeing Kane drive the 5, but I still liked it better when he drove the 9. Especially since Evernham Motorsports was actually headquartered in New Jersey, the same state I live in. I also really liked the way they made the number 9 look. That was another popular number with Bill Elliott, which is also why Chase is using it right now. I say another because Bill, I also remember, I have one of his diecasts from 2000 when he drove the 94. Now, even though Chase Elliott wasn't in Cup at 2014, he did race for Dale Jr.'s race team, Union Motorsports, in the Xfinity Series. Today it's known as the O'Reilly Series, but back in 2014 it was known as the Xfinity Series. I think it was either 2013 or 2014 that that division changed from the Nationwide Series to Xfinity. Oh crap. Fuck. You know, like I said, I gotta get some time to take some time to get used to the sensitivity of my L3 stick. I'm not catching up to the 39th place driver, and Annette's also not catching up to me. So it's safe to assume I'm going to finish the race in 40th. The 39th changed, interestingly. It's not McMurray anymore. I see it's Busch. I can't tell if it's Kyle or Kurt. Maybe if I hit another... Whoa, why are we rewinding? I did not ask to do that. I did not realize that was a thing. Like, okay, so Kurt's in 39th and Kyle's leading. Okay, I get it now. But seriously, I did not realize that was a thing. I didn't know I could rewind like that. Truex is again leading in the 78. Now it's Allmendinger. You'd think it was Stenhouse, but as you can see in the top left corner of the screen, he's driving the 17. I gotta stop doing that. I don't know why. Like every time I try to go on the inside, I always end up going past the yellow line and onto the apron, which I'm not trying to do. But again, the sensitivity of my L3 stick. I don't play my PS3 very often, so that's why I said I got to take some time to get used to the sensitivity. Right, final lap. Allmendinger's again leading. I watched. Okay, I heard a ticking noise. I don't know what that was, but I watched the highlights and radioactivity of the race they had last week at Atlanta, and AJ on his radio said that he was planning on retiring, which I had a feeling was going to come eventually. I didn't think it was going to be this quick, though. Like, if he retires before the end of this season, understandable, but I thought he would have lasted like another year and he would retire by 2027. But you know, time has a way of changing one's opinion, so we'll see what happens. Hell, maybe he'll stay another couple extra years. But that is one person I was not expecting to see win the race, Ryan Truex, driving the 83 of Burger King Racing. Alex Bowman also drove one of their cars during this time. He's driving the 23, if I'm not mistaken. Which, funny enough, is the same number that Bubba Wallace is using. Only it's not for Burger King Racing. He is driving the 23 of 2311. The team owned by Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin. How the hell did I end up in last? Oh, wait, no. We're good. I don't know what happened. I saw that nobody was behind me anymore. I don't know if the other three drivers DNF'd or what, but let's see. That's definitely Richard. I got two questions answered correctly when I wasn't recording, so let's see. I feel like this is Denny. I really don't know. Okay, Jimmy. I should have known that. I really thought it was going to be, alright, what driver won the first 500-mile race? Red Byron. That could be wrong, but I know he won the championship, like the very first championship in 1948. That's an easy one, 1980. Because Dale Earnhardt did not race during 1973 or 1961. Not in Cup, anyway. Alright, so it's not saying they DNF'd. I don't know what happened, though. It said, like, they were not behind me anymore, and that I was in 43rd. So, yeah, here we are. Ryan Truex, AJ Allmendinger, Jeff Gordon, Denny Hamlin, Carl Fredwards, Ricky Stenhouse, Trevor Bayne, Landon Castle, Casey Kane, and David Gilliland. Your top 10 for the Daytona 500. Join me next time, where I assume I'm driving at Atlanta. But I don't know. We'll see what happens in the next episode. Take care, and goodbye.